Now here's a temple, one of the greatest religious monuments on earth that sits between 4 volcanoes in Indonesia. It's called Borobudur. And Borobudur has a secret I wish to explain to the attacking people, those who like to attack the one who brings the truth. This temple shows the same story of the Negro, but they show it in more graphic detail. Here's the Negro on Friday night, chilling with his woman, smoking reefers, cocaine. The facial expression shows the dope mask. They write it in stone thousands of years before it happened. And then they show it to you, smoking joints, taking dope, smoking crack, all in stone in Asia, in Borobudur. Here they are on Friday night, high, chilling with their woman, clapping their hands, jamming, doing the latest dance, and playing their saxophone, written in stone thousands of years before it happened. Can this be a Chinese, a Japanese, or a Mexican? No, home slice. This is the black man of America with his saxophone, and the identifying location is the ghetto. And it's Friday night. Make no mistake about it. They knew you before you knew yourself. But the objective is to show you that you are not to attack anyone who brings you truth. Here they show the future Buddha in this same temple being attacked, not for doing anything wrong, except for speaking the truth of the history of the black people of America. They have the fate of those who attack. Words and verbal confrontation is beautiful. Physical violence gets you the lake of fire, as they explain it, and it is shown here in this same temple that showed you the saxophone, shows you the fate of those who attack, because the black people of America has been programmed and bred to attack their own kind first. Don't do it no more. This temple speaks loud and clear. You don't want to do that to the one who brings you the truth. You want to sit back and talk. And this is in stone. Also, in Tibet, they show you that same stone punishment in the sacred Mandela. This is Mahakala, the god of pain. And it shows you how they punish those who attack. The Buddha, the future Buddha, is on the outside. He's not subjected to all of that. But he shows you what happens to the program, anybody of any race who attacks the truth when it comes at the end of the cycle. He winds up in this vessel here, referred to as the lake of fire.
Majority of what you see in Africa in dealing with the snake is of divinity. You understand what I'm saying? Is of divinity. And so you can go even to India. You can come all the way around the world amongst African people, wherever they at, whether they in Africa or West Africa, East Africa, whether they in the Caribbean, whether they in Asia. You see what I'm saying? That serpent was divine for the simple fact of those spiritual characteristics that, I've already laid out. Now you see Nagaland. See, you see what I'm saying? Now, to the left, you see the Naga coming up out of the Nile Valley. Okay? You see the Naga coming up out, and you see him with the wings. And then you come over to India. Now, we know good and goddamn well, we're just going to be real about that. We know that this is not a coincidence, because we're going to show everywhere that the African went on the planet, he took the Naga spiritual symbolism with him and with her wherever she went and wherever he went. Okay? You're going to see many times that the Naga was, or Buddha was protected by the 7 Nagas, which you got to understand that Buddha is only Osiris in the Asian, you understand, understanding, in Asian understanding. When I say Asia, I'm just talking geographically. We understand that Asia is only a colony of Africa. And at that time, it wasn't even called no goddamn Asia. It was called Kush. You understand what I'm saying? You got Kush Major and you got Kush Minor. But we want to keep people understanding what we're talking about. That's why they call it the Hindu Kush. And you got the Kushan dynasty of India. You understand? Ain't no Asia over there yet. That's a modern understanding. Okay? And so when we go to Sudan, this is in Sudan. You're going to see that they got the Naga right there in Sudan. I say, how in the hell is they got Naga Sudan. We just went over the Negas. We just went over the Negas. We just went over the Senegal. We got into now. We understand Niger and so on and so forth. We're gonna even show where the Black Madonna was called Nigra.
In the movies.
The history of your country seems to consist of nothing more than a squalid string of conspiracies, rebellions, revolutions, murders, and massacres. Every judgment seems to be motivated by greed, by malice, hypocrisy, hatred, envy, lust, and madness. You have proved that ignorance, idleness, and vice are the only qualifications for public office, and that your laws are made by those whose only interest is in perverting them. I can only conclude that your people are the most pernicious race of odious little vermin that ever nature suffered to crawl upon the face of the earth. I can only conclude that your people are the most pernicious race of odious little vermin that ever nature suffered to crawl upon the face of the earth.
Your Majesty.
Did y'all know Buddha was an African? Buddha was an enlightened master from the Sakya tribe of the Naga race. Buddhism started in the Indian continent, where people from Ethiopia migrated over 50,000 years ago. The earliest depictions of Buddha usually have tight curly hair, thick lips, and a flat face. Even British historian Godfrey Higgins talks about how the natives of the hilly districts of Bengal and Bihar can hardly be distinguished by their features from the modern Ethiopians. After the Aryan invasion in 260 BC, they were forced to flee throughout Asia. Buddhism offered a path of salvation from the concept of being born and reborn into slavery. In 1988, the Proceedings of the National Science Academy did a study on the Chinese genome diversity. Most of the population of China, 1/5 of the population, owe its genetics to Africa. Archaeologists even did studies of over 100 pyramids 100 kilometers from central China. The 12-foot mural in the Shaolin Monastery depicting melanated beings doing Kung Fu. There's the walls in ancient Kemet, or Egypt, showing depictions of martial arts, which was years before the martial arts culture in China. So yes, Buddha was black.
Naga.